Hey guys, I'm Joel from the future here. If you guys have been wondering where I've been at and you haven't seen anything on my Instagram or previous videos, I had appendicitis on November 15th, so I've been recovering from surgery from that. I feel a lot better now. I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me and asking how I've been. I've been getting better, and finally I can at least do something small on the car. So I was able to finish this video up. I got everything done, and you guys are gonna be watching me install the cheapest Amazon CarPlay doubled into my drift car E46. Also, a quick little note, join my Discord. The link is going to be in the description. I'm always in there talking to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I paid $80 for this. It came directly from China. It just says right here, CarPlay. And it comes with the absolute bare minimum. So, actually, no, it does come with a rear view camera. So that's kind of cool if you want to go through the efforts of doing that. It gives you that. So these two plugs right here connect to the back of the head unit right there, and then I got one of these. So this is an adapter that will connect to the chassis. My E46 will connect directly to this, and then I wire these two directly into this right here, so I don't have to splice. I hate having a car that's spliced beforehand, because then you can't put this nice harness on there. This is like, I don't want to cut the original wiring. I want to try and do it as official as I can on that aspect. But this came with this, and this was, I think, like $16. This is a bracket that the doubled in goes around. If I'm going to use this one, I'm going to have to cut it down because it doesn't fit. But I do like how clean this one is. This one sits flush on the dash, but it didn't come with any hardware. The radio didn't come with anything to mount up, so I'm going to have to find 4 bolts for that. And this piece doesn't have any way for me to mount this to that, so there's still a missing link here. Oh, this thing also came with a remote too, which is kind of cool, I guess. So because this little bezel kit didn't come with anything for me to mount the doubled into, I got this kit here. But the thing with this one is it sits out from the dash really far. So this is the difference. That huge chunk is going to be sitting out of the dash when this one sits flush, which I think that's kind of ridiculous. So this is what I needed. This piece will go on to there, bolt up to the car, and then with these brackets it'll mount up to the side of the head unit. I just need to go take the car apart. So this is what my radio looks like. It has this little volume knob just completely falling out, and it just doesn't work. And then this is cooked. I don't know if this was the previous owner, but it says auxiliary input right there. I don't think these cars normally have that. Just gotta pull it off. It's literally just 2 screws holding the radio in. Pull out. I think it does. Damn, and pulls out. Now I can take these 2 bottom ones out. Dude! It's out, I guess. No fucking way. No way that's that hard. You can turn it off. No way. There we go. The climate thing is disconnected. Right now I'm trying to see, like, I don't know why they decided, yo, let's stick this out that many inches. Because this is a little bit OD. Like, I mean, it's not that bad, but like, if I don't have to use this, I prefer not using it. It's probably if you have like some crazy big doubled in that needs a lot of space behind, but this thing is like the definition of low profile. So I'm gonna try and use this little plate right here. So I did buy this one separately, but will it still fit? Like right here, this is sitting flush, that's good. But right here will not. Oh, it's hitting right here. Okay, yeah, see, so that's something that I can trim down. So with these 2 posts lined up, I can see where the area of collision is. But right there, she's not liking it. So it's all cut out now, and it fits perfectly. By the way, this is something that I'm doing because I want to try and get away with it, doing the cheapest setup possible. If you want to spend money, you can spend money and you don't have to do all this modifying, but I want to see if I can get it done for as cheap as possible. So I think that's fun. It feels like it's 10 degrees colder in the car now that we're back in here, but so I'm hoping that this sits nice and flush to the dash. That's not bad. Yeah, that is really good. I didn't want it to sit too sunken in on the bottom, but that's perfect. So this is going about as badly as I expected it was gonna go because everything is so cheap and not meant to work. The bolt holes on the actual radio are too narrow, so this bracket's too big for them, which I'm guessing maybe real double DINs have wider bolt holes, but I'm gonna have to modify this bracket to fit. This is a lot more work than it should be, but I'm trying to do it as cheap as possible, so that's exactly where the radio would sit. So now I need this panel to fit onto where the radio would sit right here. So because of that, I need to figure out this mount first, mount it up all the way, and then start trying to cut this piece over it. It's been a few weeks since I last worked on this speaker, and now because I had appendicitis like 2.5 weeks ago, I can finally at least install this double DIN because I can't even take a wheel off of a car. I have to wait like 6 weeks before I can lift anything more than 10 pounds. So with that, I'm gonna try and see if this thing even works, because I don't want to cut into the panels and do a whole bunch of cutting and stuff just to have it not work. On the actual Amazon listing, it has the output for all the wires, so I'm gonna go in, only do the necessary ones: ignition switch, ground, power supply, and I'm pretty sure the auto antenna has to be connected for it to work. This thing right here is the proper harness for my chassis. The link is going to be in the description. I got it off of Amazon. It's a 90 to 05 BMW power speaker connector. So I can keep my stock wiring intact. Red, yellow, black, and blue. I'm just going to put them together, not use crimps for now, just to test this and see if this works. So this is just going to be very temporary. Those 4 wires are now good. I can connect this into the back of the double DIN and we can go to the car and test it out. It looks like that worked. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the ignition on. Oh, that took a minute. That took a minute. I had me kind of scared for a second. Main thing I want to do is I want to see if this CarPlay works. What is this? Home. Damn, that's cool. Radio. Let me see. Oh, that looks horrible. Oh my god, that's so hard to see. Actually, it's not that bad now that I look at it a little more. I don't like the design of that. So obviously you set the radio station to wherever you want. Who listens to that still though? So I'm going to plug this in because the CarPlay will only work when the iPhone's connected directly to it with the wire. So it would be nice if it was Bluetooth, but this thing was $80. $400 units have that, but phone is connected now. Let's see what it does. Connecting phone. What? Oh, hold on. Bruh, Siri's annoying as hell. Why do I have to... Alright, I enabled... What? I enabled the Hey Siri thing. This is so cool. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I wasn't doxing myself by accident and with the Waze, but it's really responsive. I'm tapping it. It's not one of the pressure sensors. It's just an actual touchscreen. Like on my daily Ford Focus 2012, it's a thing that you have to like push in really hard for it to take any input. But this one, I'm just tapping very lightly and it's like working really well. I hope this is how fast and responsive it's going to be when I'm actually using it, but like it feels good. No, you can't pinch to zoom in. That is really good to know. So that down here, so when you're driving, you could have your GPS right here on the middle console with your music playing, and that is everything you want on your daily. It'll make it so you'd never have to look at your phone when you're driving. And in a manual car, that's nice because you don't want to be messing with your phone while changing gears and doing all that. So the GPS is now on my head unit. That's so cool. The one thing I'm kind of nervous about this is that now that Waze shows up when I'm in this menu, I could potentially dox myself when I have the GoPro on my head. So I need to be very careful with this now because it's so visible. I'll just have to always be in here. This is really good news for me now because I know that the head unit itself works, it's not defective, and that the wiring is correct. So I'm gonna go inside the garage, finish this little jumper harness up, and then I can start trimming the little bracket down to fit this head unit in. I honestly can't be asked to solder all these because soldering is very time consuming. So I'm gonna just use these watertight heat shrinks, butt connectors, and shrink them down with a heat gun, and they should be good. The plug that comes on the radio, I like to fold the wire to make it thicker because the wires are pretty thin, kind of like that, and then it'll fit a lot better inside of the crimp. And when you're crimping, you always want to crimp right in the middle. If you crimp too close to the metal, it'll literally just cut the wire off. So, but there you have a pretty good connection. That'll be enough. Once I shrink it, it'll make it also a little bit tighter so it doesn't pull apart as easy. Now I want to make sure that these don't fall off before I move on to anything else. There we go. I really like how these connections come out. They look nice and official. So now what I'm doing is I'm matching up the double DINs wiring with the plugs wiring right here. Green and green both go to the rear left speaker positive. So green and green are gonna match right here. And there's two greens. There's one green on this plug and then another green on this plug. But in the wiring harness, the green that's not connected to the powers is the one for the speakers. So the one connection that I didn't really know what to do with was this orange on this. So it's illumination dimmer, and green on this plug right here for the radio is the headlight control line. So I'm guessing the headlight control line goes to the dimmer, and then that's what's going to control it, because dimmer is only controlled by headlights. The other three that are left, pink is reverse, brown is the steering wheel controls, and orange is for parking. I don't know what that means though. This is one thing that I probably should test before crimping it, but I ideally don't want to mess with this anymore. There we go, the proper way to install an aftermarket head unit. So don't cut the stock wiring, because if you ever want to sell the car, you could put the stock radio back in and you could just take your double DIN, whatever, your radio. So right now the end goal is to make this radio fit in this bezel right here. It's a little bit too small, probably a lot a bit too small, honestly. It's gonna need a pretty good amount of cutting to get that to fit in there, but I need this to be fully mounted where it's gonna go inside of the car, inside this cage. I'm thinking bolt this in fully how this is gonna be, so that I can bolt the radio in here, and then I can start adjusting and I can see where this is gonna need to get cut. So just kind of by eye, I think this is kind of where it's gonna wanna sit, and the holes do not line up anywhere near on this unit. So I'm gonna have to make entirely new holes to bolt this up, and I'm probably just gonna do two on here, and that's gonna be solid enough. These screws were extremely stubborn, but it's on there now, kind of. So now less pieces are gonna be moving when I'm trying to fit it up, which is good. For me to know how far out the radio sticks, this has to be sitting flush on there. So I'm gonna have to cut this front section off before anything. It's all cut now. I put the plate on and it's sitting flush here and there. So that's how it's gonna be sitting inside of the car, which is good. With the bracket just sitting on the table right there, I wanna see what height it is that this bezel is at. So I'm gonna go off of the table since this bracket isn't gonna move. It's 1/16 under 3 inches. So I'm just gonna say it's 3 inches. Damn pussy, I'm just about to record.
Oh, word. That's pretty cool.
It has Apple CarPlay.
That's pretty cool.
So it's 3 inches right there, and I want the knob to stick out above the 3-inch mark so that I can actually twist it. So now I need to try and figure out how I'm gonna line this up and mark it to drill the hole in the right spot. This could be genius or really dumb, I don't know, but I just need to find this hole behind that bracket. So the center of that hole is on that black line, and the center of that one is on that. So hopefully I can use those two lines to tell me where that hole is. So I hope you guys can see that line right there on the right and the line down the middle. I've never seen anyone do this, so I hope it actually works. It would be really cool if this does. Kind of all by eyeball. So there, it might be a little bit low, but I think it'll be close enough. Yeah, it's dead center, which is that's good to know that that little trick works. The bolt is way too long that I'm using, so there we go. Shortened bolt. Once you take the nut off, that little bit of hard thread right there gets cleaned up. I have one screw holding in from the left side right there, but I want to get one on the other side. So to get it right, I came to the car, adjusted it so that it's sitting how I want it to sit. Now I can go in and mark the rest of the 3 holes and drill them all out. I came right inside, and I'm gonna mark it exactly right there. This is so good. So all 4 holes lined up. My little trick with using the center lines worked beautifully. It looks a little crooked in the bracket like that, but let's just hope it looks good in the dash. So here we are. It's in. It looks very good in relation to the dash. It doesn't look like it's sticking out too far. It looks how I wanted it to look, which is very good. That means I'm getting kind of better at fabricating. Where I want it to be is where it's ending up, which that's very satisfying. I love that. Now that this isn't moving around and this is solid where it's gonna be, I can take out the perfect amount from each corner of this bezel. So with this whole piece falling in right there, this corner will be kind of all set, but I'm gonna have to take majority off from here and a little bit from the bottom. So I guess I can just start by slowly but surely start taking more and more off of this whole bracket, or I can just measure it and get a lot closer of an estimate. It's right at 7 inches wide, so I'll be able to just mark it. There's like 3/16 that I need to take off of this bracket right here. There we go. Now that I took that bottom little trim out, I can see much easier where it is that I need to take off. So just a little more on the bottom, a little more on the side. Just gotta be really patient so that it comes out looking good at the end. I hand grinded the side right here with this 100 grit block, and it's pretty close right there. So I'm gonna start taking off from the bottom so I can get a little bit closer. It's literally the size of the bezel that it's gonna need taken out on the bottom. So the cut's actually pretty good. I thought it was gonna look a lot rougher than that, but let's see if this thing fits. Almost. This corner needs a little bit more work. So it went around on all 4 corners, but there's still a little gap. Gonna need a little bit more grinding to get that to sit smooth. Oh, actually, that's in there. It's flush right here and flush right here. Oh, damn, what? It's actually kind of good. What? That looks so good. All right, this right here I'm considering done. Good enough, because I feel like if I start taking any more off, I'm gonna make it worse than what it already is. Both sides are touching right here, but the only thing it's getting caught up on now is that the screen has a little step down, and it's getting caught on that little step down on this corner, which is resulting it to stay a little high on this end up here. But I'm willing to live with that. I don't think it's gonna be that big of an issue having it be up like that. So this is ready to go get installed. Now for the last final install, I need to take this whole panel out so I can put the climate control relocation in right here. So this whole piece is gonna get replaced right here. The ashtray is gonna get deleted. Oh, there we go. There's two tiny little torque screws on here, so I'm gonna need to take these out and put this onto the relocation. Two small ass T10s. Damn, that looks so good. That's installed. I also need this cigarette lighter. How the hell does this come out? I just pushed these two little tabs in and it came out. Now I can just push that in. There we go. It locked itself in. Damn, that looks so good. So the top holes, very clear. And then the bottom holes are nice and lined up, as you can see right there. Beautiful. Yeah, that is nice. I can plug my nice little harness in now. Ah, there we go. How the hell is the antenna supposed to get it in there? So the antenna on the car is not just plug and play, because the antenna on the radio is way deeper. So if you care about that, keep that in mind. Oh, I got it. It's quick somehow. I'm just hoping that all the wiring is good on there. Damn, that is solid. Okay, now I can try it. So here we go. I ideally want this to turn on and the radio. Damn. Yes, this is a good sign. Does this seat warmer work? Yes, it does. Oh, yeah. Yes, let me connect this wire and see real quick. That's so cool. Yes. So only this driver side front speaker works, because all the other ones blew. I got this one from the junkyard. It's a Harman Kardon one. So there's 3 more speakers that are blown out in this car right now, which I would like to get new speakers, but the car originally didn't come with Harman Kardon speakers, but this one that I just put in worked. So I know that there's different ohms. The stock ones is 2 ohms. Harman Kardon is 3 ohms. I don't really know the difference, but it works. Yes. Also, one more thing. When I turn the lights on, it kind of dims. I don't know if it's gonna be more noticeable at night, but it does dim a tiny little bit. So that's good. Lastly, now I need to get the bezel on. I gotta try and massage this thing on, because it doesn't really fit that nicely, but I'm hoping once it's on, it's on. Ah! Holy shit. There we go. Damn, that gap is fat on the left. Damn, that gap is brolic. I almost had it perfect. Damn it. So 2 more little screws that came with the kit go to hold that in. These thread into the actual plastic. I think that's good enough. Oh man. Let me get this in, please. This thing isn't held in over here because of a broken clip, but there we go. It's fully installed. I thought the bottom right was going to be a little bit loose because of what I showed earlier, but it's good. All the corners are solid. The actual double din itself, I'm putting a lot of force into it. Like, this thing is really good. Only thing on mine, the clip that goes into the dash is a little broken, so that is the only thing. The button sticks out exactly how I wanted it to. This came out very good. Last piece of the puzzle. Yeah, damn. It takes a little bit to turn on, but as long as the phone is connected, it's gonna automatically go into CarPlay, which is really good. I like that. So ever since I parked this car up about a month ago before surgery, it had a pretty decent coolant leak. It was dripping a few drops every, few seconds, and it eventually ran the expansion tank dry. So I'm letting it bleed now. It's literally snowing. So I wanted to go out because I gotta drive this thing. I need to see what that double din is like, but I need to let it just bleed real quick. So my first impressions at night, the Waze is so good. I hope you guys can see it. It has the mile per hour on the thing, so you can see how fast you're going. So if you don't have a speedo that works, you can see it on the double din. That is crazy. And then obviously the music is right here. Everything is very easy to get to while I'm driving. Not too distracting. I can pause, play very easily. It's very responsive. I am very impressed with this so far. Yeah, the only thing that I would say is kind of a complaint, this thing is extremely bright. The good thing though is that when I'm connected to the Apple CarPlay, it goes into dark mode because my phone is in dark mode. And even in the settings, I go in, turn the brightness down, it doesn't do anything. It's literally the brightness of the background, not of the actual screen. So I'm just gonna see as a test. Let's go to Chick-fil-A real quick. So it should just pop up right here. Nothing is on your phone, so it's literally just directions. Like you could just only read the directions on your phone. But here on the double din, it says you gotta turn left on the Berlin Turnpike, ETA, how many minutes till you're there and how many miles with your music. So here we are, I'm pulling in right now. The GPS worked flawlessly. I love this so much. Everything is super responsive. You want to come in here, look at this. You could, like, what? This is so good. You want to go to your music? Bet, you can go there. You want to go to your queue? It shows your queue. Like, what? This is so crazy. One thing this is really nice for is if you guys like those night toge runs, I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do and what not to do because you're not gonna listen. If you're doing anything, being able to see the turns ahead of time on the GPS is a big plus. You will be able to expect what's coming, and that is worth a lot. Follow me on Instagram at E30Joel if you want to see the final result. Let's see, how's she running? Yeah, she's good. Damn, this thing slides so nice. So all in all, everything that I used to get this fully installed one more time is this kit right here off of Amazon. The link is going to be in the description. I only bought this kit for the actual piece that holds the double din in place, and it also came with the relocation down here. This relocation came out really nice. It fits perfectly. It looks amazing. It looks stock, and I think it's really worth the $35, but I hated the actual piece that the double din went in there because it stuck out so far. So I got this piece right here. It's $10 on eBay. It's going to be linked in the description, the little flat one. Also, the little connector for an 01 E46. It says from 89 to 2008 BMW vehicle. It was $8. That's going to be linked in the description as well. And the last thing is this double din. This is what it is, the Podolph whatever double din on Amazon. Oh, it went up a little bit, so I must have got it at a good deal. I got it at $80. Now it's $95. But honestly, I think it's very worth it. This thing came out amazing and it works really well. Also, just to show, phone calls work really well. The mic on here sounds like an Xbox 360 mic, but it's not too bad.
Please leave your message for Omar.
So right here, I'm getting a phone call. You just click answer. Yo.
Yo.
What's good, bro? You hear me?
Yeah.
Does it sound good?
A little staticky. I don't know what that is.
Word. But you can understand everything I say, right?
Yeah.
See? So that's a pretty good example. I don't know how else to show it to you guys. Actually, on second hand, he said that it was pretty staticky, like the longer that the phone call went. So it was getting harder to hear me the longer the phone call was going on. So if you do to take long phone calls, maybe this isn't the best, but for $95, I really can't complain.